Hello, we're going to be covering social networking sites and how to use them in our everyday business life. And there'll be several parts to this presentation. This is the contact information for Work-Life Ministry at St. Margaret Mary. Feel free to use any of these media sources, emailing. There is a YouTube channel that you're probably watching this video on, and networking meetings are always free and second Tuesday of every month. This is going to be a multi-part presentation, so the first two bullet items is what's covered on this presentation. The grayed out ones will be covered as future topics. Why use social networking? At this point, we'll be playing some videos for you if you were to watch this presentation live, but since we're doing PowerPoints only, won't be covering a video. Social networking is not for video, it's not just for kids anymore. It is a big business tool. It allows information exchange to happen. It can be between corporations, trusted individuals. The problem with traditional media is there's just way too much information to filter out. If you were to use RSS filtering and so forth, it's too time consuming, too much information to filter out, and that's why social networking is taking off and is a very useful business tool. The important thing is it should be fun and easy, and it should not take a lot of time to do, but it should be a very useful tool to use. It's not just for kids, although children and teenagers have pioneered the effort. More and more companies are moving to it, and we as individuals have to start embracing these tools and choosing the areas that help us. Facebook, again, is not just for kids anymore. Facebook has annual revenues of $300 million, so it's a very large corporation, and it gets its revenue from a large cross-section of the population. Even Bill Gates is a user. He gave up on Facebook, but recently came back on as a Twitter, and he's followed by over 100,000 people. That's his Twitter webpage, and he provides notes several times a day if you care to join him. It's also used for religious and evangelization efforts. The Pope is even on Facebook, and he has a Twitter account as well. Trusted individuals is the key, what we want to focus on. We want to get information about a company that traditional media might not give you. If you were to look at magazines, web pages, it would tell you what's happened in the past. What we're going to find out is what's going to happen in the future. Who do we contact to make things happen before they happen, not after the fact? As we mentioned, there's a lot of information out there with traditional sources, but it just takes too much time to read whole articles, decipher facts. The idea of social networking is to give you an image of the company very quickly and actually save you time. It should be fun and easy to track coworkers. It's neat to find out where these people have moved on to. It's hard to do with the traditional way of calling people at companies that they've gone to, and now if they've left, the operator may or may not give you forwarding information. Maybe industries that they've moved into would be interesting for you to find out where these people have gone into. Maybe that's a career path that you want to follow. Business contacts is much easier to get using social networking. The traditional way was very time consuming. You had to call the operator, try to get past gatekeepers, and the quality of information was not quite as good as it is now. Job leads is a great way for social networking. Most jobs now are not posted on commercial job sites because there's just way too many responses. So although you as a job hunter is trying to get the most job leads, the recruiters are trying to get as few contacts as possible to make their job easier. And the idea, again, is looking at career paths of former coworkers. Maybe they went into a different industry or they got additional schooling, and that's a career path that maybe you want to follow. What kind of social networking sites are available? This is what we want to cover as our second bullet item. There's three basic types: personal ones, business ones, and then for selling or trading. We really want to focus on the business ones for this purpose of this presentation. Facebook started in 2004. That's the one that really started everything. You have to be over the age of 13. There's 350 million users. So again, it's a very large business. It has an investor valuation of $15 billion. The problem that it's not really suited for business use is it's very hard to control what others are going to write about you. And if you browse Facebook pages, you'll see that grammar and postings a lot of times are offensive. They're not really conducive to business. If you look at some of the other websites, the grammar and certainly the postings are much more professional. LinkedIn was started December 2002, and it launched 6 months later. Not quite as much revenue as the others, but still an investor valuation of $1 billion. Last count, and this was several months ago, is 50 million users. The nice part about it, what makes it ideal for business, is that you as the user authorize everything that gets posted about you on this web page. There are some fees for advanced features, although the free access to this service is certainly worthwhile for anybody to look at. Twitter is one of the more recent ones, started in 2006. It really is a text messaging or SMS of the internet. All messages are very quick. It's hard to gauge how many people actually use it. They say that there's 55 million user hits per month, but how many of those are regular users? How many of those are people that are just coming back or not following it from month to month? The disadvantages, again, it's intended to be a short messaging system, so it's 140 characters or less. That means you have to learn how to shorten URL links using either Bitlittle or Google Trim, any of these. Here's an example of how you want to follow somebody that follows you. One of the disadvantages with Twitter, it's very hard to limit who actually follows you. You have to watch your account, and then you also have to go through and make sure you see email notifications that come through. If you don't catch them, you may have one of your competitors or somebody that's undesirable following what you're saying, and you may have to disconnect them. If you want to shorten URL links, the issue again is you have 140 characters to use on Twitter. If you use 80 of them on the web link, that doesn't give you too many characters to enter for text. Bitlittle is a free service that you can enter in your link, and it shortens it for you. You can also give it a name that's much more reasonable than having a very lengthy character. Craigslist is one of the lists that actually started a long time ago, 1995. Very, very small outfit. They still only have 32 employees. They're really intended for buying, selling, bartering services, apartments, those kind of things. If you want to look at it from a job hunting standpoint, it is only $25 to post the job, but that also means that it's easy to scam. There are some certain job occupations that seem to do well on Craigslist, others that don't. Again, be wary of scamming on Craigslist. Here's a side-by-side comparison. The primary purpose is what it was invented for. LinkedIn is the one that we're going to focus on in future presentations. That's really for business contacts. You can get a lot of good, useful information for free. You can run it on your cell phone, mobile application. A lot of the Twittering stuff now is coming online for $6 to $7. You can get utilities that run on your cell phone. Job leads are excellent on LinkedIn. They're good on the others. Scam level, again, it's a professional site for LinkedIn, so I don't see that there's that many scamming activities. LinkedIn provides a very good way to authorize what kind of information is posted for you. A lot of exclusive job leads on LinkedIn, which are limited by the groups you belong to and the contacts you have. And recruiters do find you on LinkedIn. Again, public and private information is controllable on some of these links. Be wary and know what the limitations of these technologies are. Tracking you, it's very easy on LinkedIn to see who's looked at your information so that you can follow up with them, or to limit who's going to be looking at your information. Auditing, you can see on LinkedIn who's looked at your information, but it's not necessarily very easy to find out a username. But with paying a fee-based account, you are able to get a little bit more auditing information. Twitter and Facebook, again, is very difficult to do on those. Grouping is a benefit that allows you to find like-minded individuals, especially for business purposes. And how much do you actually spend on it? Again, 13 minutes is what an average user spends, while the others, Facebook and so forth, require a lot more time to maintain. And LinkedIn is a bi-directional, as well as Facebook. The other ones are you're sending information, you'll really find out who's working or who's looking at your information. So in summary, we're going to be covering future topics on using social networking. It's a valuable tool, and be sure to follow us on the YouTube link and on the website. Take care.